That's not enough. How's everybody doing this morning? That's what I wanted to hear. Was that enough for you?
I don't know. Let's try. Let's get an extra.
You gotta realize we are in a library.
But that's you're right. You're right. Okay. All right. Just one more time. How do I feel today?
They're going to invite us in.
You're rehab a wholesaler?
We are just so pleased
What
that
area?
each and every one of you guys made it here this week.
Wholesale in Maryland.
What part of Maryland?
Saturday of every month. Last month we had a meeting.
Do you have anything in your inventory now?
I do.
Thank you.
What you have?
This month we said we got a grill.
Oh, some money.
And I think we really outdid ourselves.
I might have that. 5508.
One of the things
So you know
I'm
Warren?
really excited about
Oh,
is
yes.
the real
Yeah,
deal.
I went with Warren. Yeah.
It's finally done. And we're giving it to everybody here today. We're going to give early bird notification to those who already applied for early bird notification. But this app is just going to blow, it's going to blow the doors off of Maryland real estate investment. Wow. No other group has anything like this. But the real deal. And wait till you hear what this one is all about.
Yeah, what we want to talk about, as usual, we talk about success that we have, what it takes to be successful. One thing we want to share with y'all is that the real deal, as you may know, started out as a small investment group of just about 4 or 5 individuals who come to the meeting. Now we have grown through your support, so now that we're nationally known. We're recognized and with the other readers as well and go to meetings and seminars. And our group here has been noted for the success that those have that attend here. And so now everyone that's in here that's doing deals and making money and is very successful. We want to make sure that's known to let you know that we take a really firm interest in your success and succeeding, and we want to continue to grow with you. Continue for everybody here to be successful. Sorry, something everybody would agree with? Yeah. Saying, hey, what's up, buddy? Saying something everybody would agree with? Yeah. Okay, in case you didn't know, I don't need to know, y'all, but you got it works like, like this. You got the sun, you got a solar panel. See, Charles has a solar panel, you're all of the sun. We need some interaction to go back and forth. If you don't give us any energy, then we'll start slowing down. Before you know, we won't be moving. So we need this energy, okay? All right.
Now, just to give you guys just a little bit. One of the main things that we tried to achieve with this group was a group where all the members collectively would work to achieve the success of each and every one. And that's the purpose of this group. None of us, none of us are gurus. I hate that term, guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a doer. I do what the gurus talk about. Kenneth do what the gurus talk about. Many of you in this room do what the gurus talk about. So we are doers. That's what we are. All right. The other aspect is this group would not be successful without you, because the purpose of this group is to work together as the union. We are here to support each other's success. We got so many people in this room that can give you success stories from their being a part of this group. And we want to see your success story out there. Our motivation, and each and every month we get the same question. Well, how can you guys give away so much and not ask for anything in return? Not want to sell a course or do this or do that. It's easy. We've been successful for a number of years. I've been in this business for over 20-something years. Kenneth's been in this business for over 10 years. We've been very successful and very blessed. And this avenue is our way of giving back. Now, do we not get business out of this? Of course we do. But the purpose is to give back and to create a synergy that is just unbelievable, that cannot be matched. I do a lot of speaking around the country, and I notice in a lot of different other areas, and I hate to tell you guys this, but they are more working in unison with each other than they are in Maryland. In Florida, you would not believe how the investors work together up there. But it seems like before the real deal, everybody was like, well, I can't do this or tell you this because you may get my piece of cheese. You may take my deal. You may do this, you may do that. And we wanted to change that mindset. We wanted to show you that regardless of how many houses are sold a year, Kendall Pockets or my pockets isn't deep enough to buy every deal in the state of Maryland. So there's no way I need to worry about you guys getting this deal or getting that deal. Because there's more than enough deals out there for all of us to eat. And that's what the real deal is all about. Bringing together a network of individuals that are here to work with each other.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, no one takes away anything from you that's yours, right? If they took away from you, then it wasn't yours to begin with, right? The phrase is yours. So we firmly believe that we can be stronger, and we have proven that we're stronger as a team, as a unit, as a group. And we have grown and become more successful working together as a collective. And I can share everything with you, and you can't take anything away from me that's mine. All you can do is help enhance. And then in turn, you can share everything with me. I mean, that's why the internet works so well. Everybody's pulling together as a resource. That's why things have grown so fast. They say it's actually grown faster than outpaced education. It's typical going to universities. But these are changing so quick. Everybody's pulling information in and pulling it in and not really caring about who has it and so forth. It's just growing so exponentially. And that's what we believe in. When Charles and I talked about this a number of years ago, literally it was just us talking about it. And it was literally just about 4 or 5 individuals that came. We had 4 or 5 email subscribers. Not over 1,000. 4 or 5 email subscribers that we would talk to about this. And we're sharing information back and forth. And we're going around traveling around the U.S., network with individuals, saw other people doing this. We said, we got to bring this back here. We got to bring this philosophy in real estate here. Not this shortage of, hey, I got the technique. I don't want you to understand how this here works for me. So, that's a scarcity mentality. I had that experience. That was one of the reasons why I got out of the 9-to-5 employment. I had a great job. Great job. I mean, I really did. You know, I was in the service, worked for the government, worked for the White House on the Air Force Base. I mean, it was great. But every time overtime came, it was a fight for who had overtime. Who was getting it this time? And I just remember that feeling of, oh, well, you got it last time, you can't get it this time, and we all buddies, right? And then everybody's friends, and then one promotion comes up, and everybody be writing their resume like this weekend, and nobody want to know who's writing what. You can't say you had that certification. I had that, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. This is just not how life is supposed to be. I mean, at the end of the day, it's enough for us all. And that's why I got out of the business of working for others, making other people's dreams successful, start focusing on my dreams, and focusing on those who share the same dream. So I can help you make your success, but we share the same vision. So it's not like an either or. And that's what we have here.
Absolutely. We're going to have an expanded network session. We usually start off with who we are. But this month is going to be expanded. And what the expansion is going to be really about is, if there was one thing that you could get to make you successful right now, if you want to share it when you announce who you are. And as a group, we're going to see if we can bring that one thing to fruition. So we're going to start off with Andy over here. Get up, let us know who you are. And if there is something that you're seeking in regards to your success, wholesale, rehab, whatever it is, let us know, and we'll see what we can do about it.
Andy Spagnolo, Grace Realty Properties. We do buying homes, renovations. We're looking for wholesalers to bring us some really good deals. I mean, real deals. I see a lot of stuff coming around. Oh yeah, this and that, this and that. You start looking at it, and it's like, that ain't real. I don't know where these people are coming up with their information. But we're looking for truly, really good deals. Anybody's come?
And you're definitely ready to buy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Huh?
You have a business card from your bill or something?
How did you find it?
I'm Amy Presley. I'm also with Grace Realty Partners, and he took the one thing that would make us successful because we are looking for deals, and we really need to be a so if anyone wants to know because it's all that.
Thank you.
Imran Lara, good morning everyone. I am a wholesaler. I just closed my first deal. My day was 9 days. part of one of the groups, and something I learned on, when we analyzed my deal that I did not do my homework correctly, which was estimating the cost for the repair cost. So I did get this guy. It still was a great deal, but I could have got a better margin for myself. So when you analyze a deal, you definitely want to make sure you get the comps right, and make sure you estimate correctly the repairs. Because eventually, and many people calling me, but the numbers were not working. So I was also lucky to find this sort of mess. I got, as far as marketing, it's a number game. The more you go out there and try to reach people, to get them to know who you are, what can you offer to them, and be clear, because we have to educate people what we do. You can get good results. And I've been using yellow letters for my marketing campaign. Get good results. Could be quite expensive, but you can go online, just Google search yellow letters.com and see the templates and how they work. And good luck, everyone.
And Mimo brings up a very good point. It is all about the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Now, the person telling you the numbers may lie, but the numbers of a deal don't lie. And the better you get good at determining what the numbers are, the more successful you will be.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jay. I'm here along with my grandmother, Steve in Georgia.
I'm the mother, okay? And I'm the Gordon's grandmother.
Actually, Jay looks like he's used to it.
Obviously, I can't think of anything at the time that I was personally as far as my team. There's something I can think of, maybe just some better information on how to I'm the bank at something. Every Friday after work,
Okay.
I change my clothes.
Okay.
I have my places lined up, I'm going to go put bank signs out.
Okay.
State bank signs, whole bank signs, about 24 hours, that's
Okay.
It seems cool actually that, a psychiatrist pulled over on the side. I'm supposed to. As far as that, things like that, so that's pretty much all I can think of.
What challenge, if there's any, you're having with, is it a question of how many should you put out, how you should do it, how you should do the campaign, what in particular?
Well, I know personally, me, I can't do 52. I can't. I'm not about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do 50 to 100 by myself. I'm not about that life.
Right.
But, as far as areas, I try to pick areas based on what I've been to say, some of the intersections, some of the, residential areas that have a lot of water traffic. I try to get out of the area, or the county area, close to that, things like that.
What kind of calls, how many calls do you get? Give me a sense of, if you do 1 week, how many calls you're generally getting?
Well, I definitely get at least one call a week in reference to, bank signs. So if somebody calls once a week saying, I saw your sign, the most officers do that in the weekends, before we say they saw the sign. It seems to be doing its job, but, I just wanted to do something, to make things easier for me. Obviously, I could bring more people to the ride, send people out. I'm still trying to do it for myself, just to see how it is. The exercise is cool, and also, I'm doing beach body programs, and that's why.
Now, to give you guys, it's all, with the real deal, we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. That's the one thing you're going to learn with the real deal. Now, the good side about it, bandit signs does work. They still do work. The bad side about it, it's illegal. Bandit signs is actually illegal putting them out in Baltimore City. The ugly side about it, you can get fined heavily if you get caught. So you have to weigh in the price of doing that strategy with the price of getting caught or being fined. We've done them. We've actually got fined before. and this was years ago. As a matter of fact, here's a little story about it. Thanks, Jay. One day, we were at our offices up on Hilton Road, and a knock came on the door. Now, as the way the office was set up, as you walk in, it was from like a home office. You walk in the door, and there's a bathroom right there, and then there's the main office area and so on. Now, unfortunately, that day, we had a bathtub full of bandit signs. Right there, when the bandit sign police walked through the door. So he walked in there, are these your bandit signs? So, of course, there's a bathtub full of signs. There was no way of saying, no, those not our bandit signs. Long story short, we got fined $500. Oh, but we made thousands off of it. So it was the cost of doing business. So there's things you can do covert-wise to lessen your footprint, but it is illegal. Keep that in mind. It is illegal. Some of the things you can do. Using a track phone as opposed to your regular phone. Using a tracking number or a bandit number as opposed to your regular cell phone number.
What's the bandit number?
But you'd like the Google Voice, or you can also buy numbers. Tip of the day, one of the tips, callfire.com. You can buy a telephone number on callfire.com for $3. Callfire, CALLFIRE.com. Costs you $3, and it can forward to your regular phone number. That way, the number that's on your signs is a non-traceable number. Not only the good part about that as well is it's a tracking number. So, give you an example of how we do it. We put the call fire number on bandit signs. Every month we're able to see how many calls came in from bandit signs, because as soon as that call comes in, our call fire account tells us that it came from bandit signs. We put it on Craigslist postings. We're able to measure each and every month how many calls come in for each marketing campaign, because we have a different telephone number associated to that marketing campaign. And it tracks the calls that come in. Not only that, but it also records the calls that come in. So now I can look at my sales team and say, we got 47 calls that came in, but you guys only closed one deal. I'm listening at these calls, and I'm hearing a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of this, but I'm not hearing the script being read that you're supposed to say in order to close these deals. What are you guys doing? So it's a way of keeping your team in place, as well as a way of tracking your calls and also maintaining your anonymity. It does the whole thing. $3 for the purchase of the number, and the rental of the number is $1 a month. And you're able to use those numbers for whatever purpose. We have them all over the country, because we do a lot of stuff all around the country. You can get them in any area code, all around the country. So I can set up a business in Houston with a Houston telephone number that forwards to my Maryland cell phone. That's how it works.
I'm going to interject, and briefly on one particular point. I know we got a lot to cover today, but I wouldn't, if I didn't interject this point right here, I wouldn't be doing you a great service. This is very important, very paramount, and it sounds simplistic, but it's really important. One thing I've heard so far is that we all want to be successful, but then when success begins to come in, we taper it off and find a reason to taper it off. Whether we say it's something I don't want to do, or I'm not feeling that, or I know I need to do that, but. See, it's that but that I hear a lot that cuts off our own success. And then we find a reason why it's acceptable, but then yet say we want success. I see this so many. I've coached and worked with thousands of individuals. Not only do I hear it in here when we're talking, I hear it when we use call fire. Some of my students, I have to make the phone calls, and then they'll say, hey, I'm not getting any leads. This marketing isn't working. And I listen to call fire, and they won't answer the daggone phone. They let it go to voicemail. Why did it go to voicemail? Because they're afraid to talk on the phone. Oh, hey, well, there you go. That's it. See, there's always, See, if we want a certain amount of success, we're right here, right? We want a certain amount of success. We want to be right here. If we had what it takes to be right here, we would already be there, right? But we're not. We're right here. And since we're right here, that means there's something missing from here to here. And whatever that is that's missing from here to here, we name it. It could be not answering the phone. It could be limiting our own success. It could be a number of reasons. But that's the reason why. And what we do is we begin to sabotage our own success. I've seen it so many times. It's like I hear it, and I know it's like after a while you do it so long, you can hear it in others when they talk about it. You're like, oh, I know where this is going because I've heard it, and I even recognize it within myself because it never goes away. As long as you continue to want to grow, and you hear, you're going to always want to be there. There's going to always be something stopping you from getting there that you got to go through. It never fails. You can be a millionaire. It never fails. You go to you got to maintain it. You got to keep it. It always is there. So I just want everybody to keep in mind that there is something that's pulling you back. There was this plastic surgeon, and basically what he did was he did this study, and he found out that as he was changing, people who said, hey, I want to get my nose changed, my ears, whatever they want to get changed, they didn't feel good about themselves. They rate yourself on a 1 to 10. What would you give yourself? They give yourself a certain number. After the surgery was done, looked in the mirror, and he still gave himself the same number. Why? You don't see with your eyes. You see with your mind. If you don't see yourself with your mind as a successful investor, you will never, ever be a successful investor. It has not a damn thing to do with your eyes. It's with your mind. So when your mind, you talk. And when you talk, your body hears what you say. So as long as you keep going around saying that, oh, I could be successful, but, or oh, I'm not going to do this, but, you will never, ever, ever achieve true success. But you will be able to continue to say that. Now, my question to you is this. Who here wants to be a successful investor? I see everyone's hand.
I do.
Thank you. Thank you. It starts off like a tidal wave. It starts off. This is what I'm saying to you is so true. It's so real. This is the key to achieving success in real estate. It doesn't matter, like, I can show you a technique or something, but at the end of the day, it starts where? All the time.
One thing we always used to say, if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. It's your choice to make.
No, I can't.
It's your choice to make.
Can I say this too? Also, I tell myself every day that, just like the grandma has said it, and which I found really touching, is that scared money don't make no money. And that's real true. So, to overcome my fears, I have to instill that in myself and say, okay, I'm scared to do this, however, I want to be successful.
And one of the biggest fears investors have is talking on the telephone. It's a big fear. A lot of you may say, well, how could that be? Well, that's a fear a lot of them have because they're new and they say, well, I don't know what to say. The person may look through the phone and know that I'm really new. And now I'm caught between a rock and a hard place and I can't hide. That's practice. Practice comes perfect.
There is only 2 fears you're born with. The fear of falling and the fear of loud sound. Everything else you've been taught. Loud sound. If you go to a baby and go, like that, the baby does just jump. You can't help that. Somebody just gives you a boo. You're like, oh, you just can't help this. It's a natural reaction. Those are the only 2 fears. So everything else that we have, we've been taught to fear. So a lot of times in real estate investing, you have to unteach yourself the things that you have been taught previously, which prevented you from achieving the success that you want. And a lot of times, it's our own environment, because our environment that we have keeps us into a certain place. That's the nature of environments. It keeps you there. The fears that we have been taught. Fear is an emotion that, just like laughter, you can get away. A lot of times, it's so funny, they say, fear is, let's say a person can die 1,000 times through fear, but only 1 time in their natural life. You create these fears and these things that hasn't even happened. It's almost psychotic. If you look at it like so it has happened, then you have created that space of event so it has happened.
Do you know how to define fear? False expectations appearing real.
Exactly. Exactly. So I just want to express to you that when like things happen to me in investing on a daily basis, and then something happens like, oh man, hold on. What are you going to feed? What are you going to give your energy to what could go wrong or what could go right? You get what you're looking for. And as long as you keep focusing on what could go wrong, what do you see? What could go wrong? Because we already expressed, you see with what? Not with you. So as long as you keep thinking fear, then what are you seeing? Exactly. Believe me, this is no hocus pocus stuff. This is some real cuckoo. Alright? That's what I'm saying. The people who are really doing this is how, when we in these masterminds and Charles and I sitting there, we talking, and we're in different states, and we're sitting here with those who are really actually doing these deals, this is what we're talking about. Okay? And no one in these groups are saying this is some real cuckoo. Right? No one's saying, we say this is what really happens, how it's done. Now when you go outside, others may say, oh, that's baloney. Well, you know what? That's the reason why they're where they're at, because they say it's baloney.
Can I just say, I look at real estate as a job. You know how you can just put into a job and you have no clue what to do, and you think you're going to fail, and you just keep doing what you have to do because you want that paycheck? This is your own paycheck. You gotta work for your own paycheck. So you gotta get past those fears. No, you're gonna know the job. You're gonna learn it by trial and error.
Okay. How do you want to speak?
Oh,
Introduce yourself.
hi, good morning. I'm Georgia Hampton. Hi, everybody. We had an interesting deal over the week. We actually, my mother does a lot of the phone calls for us. And so we actually had a young lady, a guy, kept calling and talking to my mother about a house in Baltimore. We went to see the house in Baltimore. And to make a long story short, the young lady threw out a number that was so good that it made me think, is this too good to be true? Are we being followed? What is going on with this deal? So she wanted us to write a contract. I have never written a contract with real estate. I've done real estate before, and I think I shared that with you all. I've done real estate before, but I had a former business partner who was a real estate agent. So she's done all of our contracts. So I was sweating bullets because I didn't know how to do the contract. Really, that fear came up inside of me, grasped me, and I was really afraid. So we are doing a contract, and I have a mentor, Cody Sperber, out of Arizona, is our mentors. And so what he told me to do the contract 3 times. So we get down, the ladies fill out the contract, and I start talking to her about the deed. And she says to me, as she is filling out the contract is being ratified, by the way, I'm not on the deed. Now, of course, I believe everything happens for a reason. I looked at it like, you know what? That was your way of learning how to do a contract. You learn something. So I'm ready for my real contract. So it's all right. It's good in this moment.
Hey guys, I'm not sure if you guys have the real deal questionnaire that you would ask every person who has a house to sell. But that's one of the questions that's on it. If you guys want a copy of that questionnaire, of the questions you need to ask every seller to analyze every deal, if you get these questions answered, you'll be able to analyze any kind of deal. If you want a copy of that, just send me an email, charles@pageonesuccess.com, and I'll send you that actual questionnaire. Charles@page, the number 1 spelled out, success.com.
Well, my name is Miss D, and I concur with my grandson and my daughter. But I'm the one that took the call. She said she had the deed, she had everything. But
She says you had to.
she had the deed, yes. And then we found out that one of the person on the deed was deceased. But she said that she was the one on the deed. And see, when you are asking all these questions or what you want, blah, 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 and if they tell you something, you can't tell them they're lying. But when she got to do the contract, it was none of that true. But see, that's the active fact. But you have no way of really knowing that while you were speaking with that person. Oh, she was selling that house for $12,000, by the way, so I'm sticking with her.
Oh, I would. And I would love to find out exactly, because when somebody passes away, it goes through some type of office court, and it goes through the actual person representative, and so on. So you can just basically find out who is the named person representative of that estate, and and find out if there's a way to buy that property.
Five people.
That's okay. That's okay. Because we've done a lot of probate deals before. And the more people want to be, the merrier. People want to get paid. So the more people want their deed, that's where greed comes into play, and that's where you easily close that deal.
Thank you.
I'm Peter Crawford, I'm a realtor for 30 years, a general contractor. Lived in Montgomery County for the past 35 here in Baltimore. One of the houses I rehabbed a couple of years ago. I'd like to get in to rehab here again. It's just the numbers that don't make sense for me. A lot of the properties are so far gone. Not being silly, but literally the city would have to pay me $40,000, $50,000 for me to break even if I get the rehab. It's so far gone. I thought I found a good one this week from Bacon Value. When the Valerie told me I looked at it, so I'd like it. Oh, I didn't tell you that you have to buy all 11 on that lot. And you have to finish them within a year, and you have to promise to bid on anything else that comes on that block in the future. I go, okay, I can do one, but I can't do 11. But I'm looking to make sense of the numbers. It's just these houses are so far gone.
Well,
Good morning. My name is Gabrielle Hilton, and I am a new wholesaler. I was having some moments yesterday, very kind of discouraged, but by the end of the day, we're still making phone calls, and hopefully some things are turning around. What I really need, and I kind of found one already, but mentors. I am driving for dollars. I can see the properties. I was laid off from my job, so this is my job now.
Okay.
So those of you who are looking for deals, I'm ready to find them. But what I find is difficult is when I'm finding a property, figuring out, okay, what are the numbers on this? Because I've never gotten past, okay, I see this property, it looks like it has potential need, but I don't know where to go after that. So I haven't put anything under contract. I'm afraid, like, if it's going to work out.
yeah, and that's one of the hardest parts as a new investor is understanding the numbers. What numbers matter? The R, the actual fair value, what it's going to sell for based on the market condition and process time frame in the area, what the actual repair cost is going to be, and last but not least, what the actual comps are for that area and what price you can pay for that property based on your wholesale that property. And that's a huge part of your education. There is no easy answer to that. One part of that answer is to build a team. A key part of your team, I'll give you 3 parts to your team. One key part is a real estate agent. You have to have a real estate agent on your team if you're brand new and you want to get involved with property that's going merits, properties that you want to be able to understand value and have that agent there to help you with the comps and so on. A lot of you guys don't realize, some of you may, but if you are an assistant to a real estate agent, you can get access to merits by being that real estate agent's assistant. Now, is that an easy task? No, it's not. I've never been an agent before, and I've always had access to merits because I've got a lot of trust with a lot of agents that know that when I bring them deals, I'm going to be bringing them deals because they gave me access or they made me an assistant on their account, and now I have access to merits. But you have to build that trust with agents. One of the ways you can build that trust is to let them know that they will be your go-to source when deals come along. And if you can build that relationship, that's a very important part of your team. Second part of your team is a title company. You need to have one that's really friendly with real estate investment type transactions. All these transactions that you can do, subject to, owner finance, land installment contracts, flip assignment contracts. You want to make sure you have a title company lined up, 2 or 3, if not more, that they're able to do all these different types of deals. Because the last thing you want to do is get a property under contract and then not know what to do next. The easiest thing you want to do once you get it under contract is to say, title company, here's what I got. I need you to start the title work on this. Let me know what you think about this paper, this title work, how we can get this property and so on. You build that relationship, you'll be able to do so many different things as it relates to your business. Believe me, that's one of the key points to that building of that team. And last but not least, the person that's going to help you with value in regards to rehab costs, a good contractor. Somebody that you can take and call and say, hey, I want to know, what do you think about the value of this? How much is it going to cost to repair this? Yada, yada, yada. Once you get those 3 key components in your system, then you can be there, close to being there to being where you want to be. But you're going to have to get those 3 components in your system to really start building the seed results.
I have a
suggestion for learning comes, I'm an auction associate with auction brokers, and I just mentioned to a couple people here. If you, auctions are open to the public, and it's a great idea to just go and attend auctions and watch them. And what I did when I was learning values is I would kind of take a guess of how much I thought it was going to sell for an auction before the auction, watch the auction, and then see what it sold for. And it helped me a lot in figuring out what each neighborhood was like and what each property was like. And if, you know, how they're at.
Thank you.
And one last thing, for real estate investors, the best source I've found in Maryland is for comps. The most reliable one, when you're not an agent, is something called Frankly MLS. Frankly MLS has direct access, and they're pulling directly from Maris more often than not in real time. They actually have actual sales that you will find that's actually in Maris during the time in which they're actually occurring, most of the time. Here's another key part of our Frankly MLS. One of the key parts to you looking at comps is knowing the remarks section. Frankly, MLS actually gives you the remarks that's actually in Maris. So that's a key point that if you wanted to actually get the understanding of value, and you're not an agent, use Frankly MLS as a way to pull up sales in that area and try to figure out what those actual numbers are for the comps.
And it's free.
FranklyMLS.com. Yes, Frankly, F-R-A-N-K-L-Y. No, it's free.
I've been using it.
That's just a matter.
I think it's Maryland and DC.
Virginia.
Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Yes. How you doing, Mike?
Speak up, please, sir.
Oh, sorry. Sure. I think you can see in life, it's like everything to me was people book, you learn it, you get out there, and it'll work. And that has worked for me so far. Somehow it didn't seem to work in this way. I actually did all the research, done everything, I got a website, I really did it all. And I did a couple of the magnet signs out, the mailings, did a couple more, tried it out. Nothing worked out. Nothing made us that. Something's missing. So, don't just spoke about it before, you get your mind in the way. I think that's pretty much what I'm just doing. That's pretty much what I do. Just to get my mind in the way. So that makes sense with the right people.
The average new investor gets out of the business in 6 months. Why? Because they're frustrated and they believe that real estate doesn't work. 6 months. After starting it, they say, man, it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors and this stuff really doesn't work. No, real estate works. Being successful in real estate works. What doesn't work is the plan that you're working for your success. And that's the key. If you're working a plan that is guided for you to be successful, you can be successful, but it's not going to happen instantly. It took me 12 months for me to get my first deal, and it was $2,500. And I was happy as I could be. And the thing about it, I had to share it with my partner. And I was still happy as I could be. Because now I had a paycheck in a check in my hand, and I had proof that real estate works. And that's what it's going to take. Each and every one of you who haven't been successful, you're not going to believe it works until you get that first check in your hand. But in the meantime, you got to surround yourself so you can keep that motivation. You got to surround yourself with your peers who are successful so that you can see their checks, so you can feed off of their success, so you can have the mindset that, yeah, it does work if my plan that I'm working is working properly. That's the key. Don't go at it alone. Feed off of the energy from the success of others that have the proof. And just feed into their mind. Ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask. There's so many different successful investors in this room. Get them into a room, corner them, and say, what made you successful? Tell me, what's your secret?
I'll share briefly, because I know we get time to go over some internet points, but there's something else I want to share as well, too. I remember when I first started out in real estate, right? First started out, I was going through divorce, so that was very stressful. Quit my job. And not only was I going through the divorce, after I quit my job, I I had a newborn. So my job was like, hey, you want to come back? So I had a newborn, just the boys, and no job. Talking about stress. I mean, I remember sitting in the parking lot with that knot in my stomach. I remember that knot. But this is one thing I want to share with you. It's very important. Motivation and moving. Many of us will move quicker if there is a rabid dog chasing us than there will be if there's a pot of money sitting in front of us. You say, oh, the pot of money is there. It's going to always be there. You may move, but there's no sense of urgency. If there's a rabid dog sitting there with your butt in his eyes, you're going to move quicker. You're going to move at an unbelievable speed. You're going to break the sound barrier, speed of light. You'll come back with a newborn baby. Like, oh, this is crazy. What I'm saying is this. Many times our motivation comes from us having to create our own sense of urgency. As long as we sit in a level of casual environment, we will not succeed. That pushed me to excel because I was not going to be a deadbeat dad. I was not going to miss a child support payment. And I was determined to achieve success at heights never seen before. I said I'm going to make more than my boss's boss made. So I knew there was no going back. I burned my ships at the harbor. Anybody familiar with that story about Ortez and so forth? That's what I had to do. So that way, one quick thing for you. Sun Tzu, artist Sun Tzu. Anybody know who the artist Sun Tzu is? Talk about the art of war. Guy's old. I mean, he's so old, he's not even around, right? But at the end of the day, his philosophies are still followed. One of his philosophies is this right here. If you're chasing an enemy in a battle, this is an old war, okay? So for those of you, just follow me. Okay? So this is what he said. He said, place a fire on one side, a fire on the other side, and chase the enemy down the middle. Right? The enemy's going to run. The enemy's going to run. And as long as the enemy's running, you can take them off one by one. But as soon as the enemy come across a cliff or a mountain, just stop and say, let that be a lesson to you. If you come back, we'll finish you off. You'll be considered merciful. Why did he say stop? Why did he say stop?
Because now they have an incentive to turn around and fight like heck.
Exactly. Now, the person you're going to fight is not the same one that was running. Let that person be beat in their own mind and feel that you were merciful and could have destroyed them. Instead of the other hand. For if you push them, you may find out the person you are pushing is 10 times stronger than you and will hand your butt to you without you even knowing that it happened. You're like, what the hell just happened? At the end of the day, create your own wall. Create your own barrier. Give yourself only one chance to succeed. And that's what it took for me. There was no way I would look into my daughter's eyes and say, Daddy can't pay for this. I damn that was going to happen. I was going to win this in real estate no matter what. I would be successful no matter what. And I achieved it. I achieved it. So what I just want to express is to you, if you are sitting here and you haven't achieved a certain level of success in real estate, it could be because you are too comfortable. If you approach real estate casually, you will end up a casualty.
During the rat race. I've been with the government for 14 years, and I just need to get my financial freedom together. Always had a desire to do real estate. Been to countless meetings with gurus and stuff like that. So I'm basically here to network, get my resources together so that I can leave my state service because, just the budget restraints, the paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes that I haven't signed. I'm looking to provide my family. So, that's why I'm here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jorge Almonte. Thank you. I am Baltimore's new mobile detailing service. For the last 7 years, I was a financial advisor at a banker, most recently a branch manager. Through all the readings and sitting across and having the privilege of talking to people like yourselves who are investing, and I can see your personal finances and see these big zeros following around, I decided it was time to add those zeros to my own bank account. So I decided the financial freedom path and do something I'm passionate about. I love cars. I used to sell them. If you guys need help buying a car, call me. I can tell you all the ins and outs and all the tricks and shady stuff that happens in the industry. So I launched the business 2 months ago. Real estate, I feel like I'm in the right road today. Much like my colleagues here, I decided to get into real estate, spend an immense amount of money on guru training, and realized I needed the one-on-one support. The way I learned in small classes. You know, I went to school and my classes were never more than 10 people at a time, so I realized I need to get that mentorship. So if you're a mentor or a trainer, I'm looking for you, find me. And so what I'd like to take from today is the networking opportunity and really just figure out the step one and have that moment that Charles was kind enough to share to say, yes, it works. I believe in it. I know it works. I know my failures are not an indication of the industry at all, so I'm looking for that first deal. So, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome in the room. I am in real estate part-time. I'm a realtor, a wholesaler, and most recently, over the past 6 months, a retailer. What would take me to the next step would be a business partner that I've been searching for since 2005. That's like, we would be on the same page, obviously. I'm also looking to work with some real wholesalers so I can bring the puzzle together because I have buyers looking, and right now I'm not currently marketing the sellers. So I need to bring that puzzle together, feed these buyers that they're looking for. I've been trying over the past year to work with some wholesalers to bring me some deals to do that, but that hasn't quite worked out. So if you're interested in that, seriously, really interested, get in touch with me. I've had a couple people that have gotten in touch with me over the past week. So we're going to start doing some things together, but if you're interested, then get in touch with me. I'm always posted on the real estate.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Marlene, and I'll be speaking on behalf of myself and my fiancé, Rick. We are brand new to the whole real estate endeavor. We love to watch HGTV and watch investors flip house. And I said, this looks like so much fun. There's got to be a way to make money doing this. I like the idea of making passive income from rental properties. So I guess that is my short-term goal. But when I say brand new, I mean, I still haven't built behind years. So like Jorge and a couple of the other colleagues said, I would like to have some kind of mentorship or coaching. And like Jorge said, one-on-one even, just to know what the steps are to getting into the business. So I already felt as though just being here got a lot of useful information. So more meetings like this and networking will definitely help that.
Continue success.
Hello, my name is Kasha Shelton. I'm a current investor, and I am also a newly licensed real estate agent. I own properties in Prince George's County, and I'm looking to expand my real estate business. I want to move to multi-units in D.C. So if anyone finds any good deals in Southeast Washington, my phone number is 301-605-4859. And I look forward to meeting you. What's your name again? Kasha, K-A-S-H-A, Shelton.
Morning. My name is Thomas Rouse. I'm an aggressive real estate agent. I also own a couple properties. I'm a landlord. And what I like to get out of this is more networking. I do know how to run the numbers. I do know how to write the contracts. So you need someone to help you out. Please come in close.
Name and phone number?
Thomas Rouse, R-Y-L-E-S, 410-382-3977.
What's the last one again?
3977.
3977. I had a call, so we can make that.
Mr. Jordan.
Bill Bennett, I was Metro Public Adjustment. I help people with their insurance. You have homes, you have insurance, you probably don't really know what it is you have. I'll sit down with you and I'll explain it to you. There's no charge for that. Think you have a claim? I'll talk to you about it. It may or may not be covered. If it's not covered, you don't want to put it into your insurance company. I'm also on track to get 2 properties before the end of the year. I wanted to have my first one by June. I got slowed down a little bit on that, but picked it back up. I expect to get something in September.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Beth Adams.